Let's do it. Oh, I gotta admit, your boy is tired. Tired, I say. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome and welcome back to the second stream of the day. This is Untitled Round Table. This is your first time here. Welcome. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. You ain't going anywhere after this. My name is Mello, and today we're gonna finish. We're gonna try to put some work onto this Joker piece. We're gonna work on his teethuses, work on his suit, which I'm still trying to figure out what to do. And that's it. We're gonna chill, chat, hang, and bang. Let's do it. So, without further ado, say what's up when you jump on. I appreciate you. It is warm in my office, so I'm gonna have to turn on the fan above me. Give me 1 second. Let me just let people know how to reach the horizontal stream from here. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Full stream directions here. Here. Pow, 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 pow. So, the stream from this morning, we worked on this piece. Little portrait workshop. I had the reference up for people to watch and draw along if they wanted to. And then I had, yeah, that's it. I had it up. We talked. We drew. What is it? I drew. You drawn. We drove. I'm sorry. But that was funny to me. Anyway, let's keep it going. All right. I'm going to close out some windows. As Geeter did. I'm just making sure everything looks okay on screens. Let's make it happen. How you doing, drawing while talking? Welcome back. Welcome back. I know it's a ask and a half to have people come back, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yo, you was also drawing. Cool. You got too hot. It is, right? I don't know where you are. Where I am right now, it is about 93, 94 outside, and it's catching up to the house. I got my halo light on, so feeling a little warm here. And you watched the portrait artist show, the competition. Isn't it good? Is that the first? Is the first episode with the dude that just he doesn't get picked for the runner-ups and just kind of like pisses off and just grabs his stuff and leaves. That's hilarious. All right, I'm gonna scooch this over just a little bit more, only because I'm for the horizontal. It's also dual streaming, and I want to make sure that everything's on screen. Wrong button. Pressing all the buttons. All the buttons. What's up, Nova Draws? Hey man, that last piece you put up was great, and your Cammy and Chung-Li duet was nice. The Electra, beautiful. The Electra, was that Diodato's work? I almost recognize the reference, but not too much. It doesn't matter. It looked really great. Yeah, that electric one was nice, man. All right. I'm gonna move my. Let's see if I can match my Joker. Is that the dude that first he was drawing very small? I think I know what you're talking about. All right, I'm not gonna be showing my mug, but I guess it doesn't matter. I'm gonna have to put the mic, this mirror in front of me here. It doesn't matter, Nova. That thing looked awesome. I kind of recognized the reference, but that doesn't matter to me, man. It looked great. It was a great representation. So. But other than that, how you guys doing today? Hope you have a fantastic day. Hey, but Nova, without getting to, I guess I shouldn't ask. I'm not gonna ask. Yes, it has different sitters every episode. And a different round of artists every time. So what happens is, so the people that get chosen, and win that episode's competition, that episode's heat, they don't come back until all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slots are filled. So it's 7 episodes, each with a different group of people trying to catch the one spot. And then those guys and gal compete for the top 3 spots, and then those 3 compete for the Artist of the Year. So you, unfortunately, for what you're saying, you don't really get too attached to them. But once they weed out the competition, the ones that they select really put in some work. Let me see here. That'd be kind of cool. You mean kind of like they would do Ink Master, like have those artists already selected and then have them compete week to week? Yeah, but there's so many. I wouldn't give up on them just yet. The show is really good, and if you're trying to learn new techniques, the way I took it was really a testament of the human condition, man. There was a artist early on. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that win streak. Early on, an older woman, and you just feel for her, the anxiety that she suffers. You go, man, she is all of us. I don't know what's going on with my player. Yeah, it's a really good show. So much so that I watch it as often. I started rewatching, not rewatching because I didn't start from the beginning, but now I'm watching I'm back to, I'm on season 7 of The Portrait Artist. Soon, if you keep watching the show, you'll start seeing how you'll start arguing with the judges. Then you start realizing that sometimes their choices aren't about how good the artists are in that heat, but the potential of what they might do in the future. It's kind of nuts. You did really enjoy? Yeah, I gotcha. Hey K-pop, how are you? Welcome to the Tower of Terror. Welcome to today's stream. We're double dipping on today's stream. Earlier I did kind of what I'm going to start doing. I was asking the audience about doing a kind of like a workshop style live stream, and we was doing portraits this morning, and we're probably going to continue that trend and just kind of like read the room, see what people want to if they have any questions or have a question, a request or something, or about a certain technique they want to see, want to learn, or don't know about. We'll make that the showcase. Yeah. So it's interesting how sometimes the judges don't always choose who we would think would be the better artist. Or sometimes it'll be frustratingly you go, well, we believe is the best artist. There's something about this side of the face that I'm not feeling, like it's too flat, and I'm almost going to re-smudge this part over here and see if I can erase it to life, give it a little evanescence. But K-pop, what we're talking about is the painting competition show on Amazon. The portrait artist and the landscape artist. We were just talking about the portrait one right now, and how sometimes the judging can get frustrating. I mean, they have it hard enough though, but that sometimes they don't always choose who we would deem to be have the most talent. They like to see people that would have growth and kind of like the prospects of the future, which is an interesting way to judge. I need to make his teeth bigger. Kind of like, I want him eerie looking. So I'm just gonna exaggerate these lines here. Just drawing skyscrapers. So I think next week, Wednesday, on the workshop, we're gonna do some smudging, some more smudging, and working with the kneaded eraser. Should we make him mad? Should we give him some spittle? Some saliva? What do you guys think? I did a Galactus yesterday with a lot of spittle. That changes everything, doesn't it? Yes, for more spittle. We got a vote. We got an upvote for spittle. I think. More gums, more spittle. Add a lot. Would that be considered going back to the well too much or too often? Considering I already did one with saliva, with a lot of saliva. I'm using a 2B lead, by the way. I was even going to give him a dangling no bat earring, but I digress. Laughter's here. Neck. Hey, Link. And tanks. A lot of this black is going to go through the letters. Link, if you're on a computer and you want to see the full desk, my tools and other sketch pads, you can click that link right above your comment, and it'll auto-magically transfer you to the other chat and the other video. But if you're comfortable there, Do you? So, it's been a couple years now. How outraged were we with Jared Leto's Joker? we can I be honest though? There wasn't enough of him in that Suicide Squad for me to love or hate, but I actually left there going, I wish there was more Joker. Is that a good thing or bad thing? Let me know, because I really don't know, honestly. He was trash in the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut wasn't even all that great anyway, but I was just wondering. I know there's been an outrage since then about him being a destroyer of franchises. I don't think it's that as much his fault. It is what it is. I think the studios meddled a bit too much in that Suicide Squad movie. It wasn't a great movie, bar none. I'm not a champion for it. I am a fan of the director, David Ayers. He has done better things since then and before. And to get someone who does gritty, urban, or city, not urban, but city style movies, and to I don't know. I couldn't read the room with what he was trying to do. And that's because the cut we saw in the theaters was trash, and it had too many cooks in the chicken. It had too many cooks in the chicken. It had too many cooks in the kitchen. So go figure. All right. I think those teeth are not on the right. I don't know about all the spittle, but I'll keep a little bit of it. You may have been overruled. Ooh, Birds of Prey. Yeah, boo. Yeah, we was talking about that the other day. I think when I first started drawing this dude, I made a comment about Harley Quinn. All right. What would be creepier? Big gums, little teeth? I'm sure there's dentists saying that's not how teeth work. Yeah, Birds of Prey was another one that I think they lost the identity early, which is hard because Margot Robbie, I think, was producing it. So she was making the movie she wanted to, but it was just kind of like they didn't know where to go with Harley, and it's hard to make a second tier character first tier. And as famous and as popular, she is second tier. And that's okay. Jiu-Jitsu Draw Master says yo. I say yo back. Welcome to the show. Thanks for popping on. Appreciate you. You think she was trying hard? Yeah. You're given a vehicle like that, you go though, right? So you can't blame her for trying to hit it out the park. But sometimes singles and doubles win the game. Just saying. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm going to re-smush this because I don't like the way it looks. And some of those lines have to be a bit more dominant, in my opinion. But yeah, back to Leto. I still go around saying, well, you don't want any beef because of him when I cook beef and nobody wants any of it. Who was my favorite Joker? Well, I grew up. I'm not gonna say it like that. It's Jack Nicholson. I know that Heath Ledger, what he did was amazing. But Jack is the man. Jack and Cesar Romero from Puerto Rican. Jiu-Jitsu Draw Master. This piece so far, I have done. How much time I've been here? Half an hour? 2.5 hours. This is 11 by 17, so it's a comic book style or comic book standard. And that's why I have him basically inside the margins, give or take. This is just Brathmore paper. I'm just grabbing a blank sheet so you can check it out. So 11 by 17. Yeah, I started virtually hanging out with a bunch of comic artists and creators, and I bought a ton of this stuff to see if I can draw this big. It's kind of a weird dimension. This portrait style, because it's so long, even though they kind of like crop it some more. I don't know how they make it fit into a comic book page, but it is what it is. Magic is magic. But some take longer than most. But this one so far has been about 2.5 hours. And thank you, man. Cooking. Jiu-Jitsu, I appreciate you. Get your rest. Thank you for popping on. And a little doom scrolling before bed don't hurt nobody. So I think you came through. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I usually on earlier. And I'll catch you on the next one. Good night. Mark Hamill rewatching his first episode. Oh, yeah. And I'm not even disrespecting the Hamill. There was just something frighteningly funny about Nicholson's version. You know, what do you want? I want my face on a, what do you say, on the $100 bill? You must be joking. Do I look like I'm joking? I give a shout out. Shout out. You'll do it with another account. I could dig it. Appreciate you. What the heck was I talking about? I was giving Cesar Romero props, man, for having too much pride in his mustache to shave it. You can see his mustache underneath the makeup, his Joker makeup. And as a great homage to him, Heath Ledger's Joker, when he appears on screen, he's wearing the clown mask that Cesar Romero wore in his first appearance as the Joker. And I think the mask is the sad clown, the Pagliacci clown. You guys know who Pagliacci is? I think that's the way he pronounced his name. Mark Hamill rewatch, and he was amazing. He had it down when he did the movie The Shining. Oh, you mean Jack? Oh, yeah. If you're into documentaries, there's a set of documentaries on Prime about, they're called Icons, the series of documentaries, and they'll go through certain movies. I've gone through all of the Batman movies. I've done the Marvel movies, except for Spider-Man. They've got one on the Lord of the Rings, which is amazing. We just finished. I feel like I'm missing one. But they're a great series. Zorro Edits. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you twice. Look at that. Leave me on in the background. I'll whisper. So I won't disturb you. No, man. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night, man. Thank you for not scrolling past. Thank you for saying what's up. The Shining. Ugh. Thanks, bud. I used to watch that movie way too often growing up. I was the latchkey kid, and TV and the VHS was our babysitter. It is what it is. That's how it was. And way too many horror movies growing up. way too many things. I've seen way too many things and lost my innocence, watching way too many things as well. That I shouldn't have. That I should have had some adult supervision. That I grew up loving horror movies because of it, and the movies I would watch were all just creepy as all hell. The Shining, the American Werewolf in London is amazing. I want to get that cheek pop. There's some other ones. You know, I won't even mention them. They don't deserve mentioning. God is holding my tongue, so I won't bother. But with The Shining, one of the best things in Ready Player One was the homage level to that movie. Little cheek pop. Am I going to paint this one? I'm not sure. I think I would love to. Again, I'm not doing myself any favors with a lot of the lost lines that I got going on in here and the blending. Actually, that might help me more than if I was to try to ink it. I think not having hard lines for the inking makes it more difficult. So I might. I don't think it'll be too difficult to paint. Little, if I cheated, right, I would use a light blue, I'll do the other side. A light blue underpainting. It's a good way to cheat pale skin, to use a blue and then use white over that. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Carrie Louie in the house. Welcome. I don't know if this is your first time here at my show, but thank you. And if not, thanks some more. Appreciate you. Through here drawing the man who laughs. And over here, the lady that stubbed her toe. I'm kidding. These are kind of like preliminary character studies for the story that I'm writing and developing. And I don't have full visual bios for my characters. I have an idea and a vibe and an emotion that I want to put into life. And my main character, one of my main characters, is this young lady here, who is a warrior, a fighter and protector of her peoples. And I'm just still kind of like finding that vibe of strength, beauty, physicality, all in the same. And this morning on my live, we was doing this portrait off of a reference that I had on screen. And I think that's going to be kind of like a theme to carry on, not to be doing my OGs, but to have a image on screen, doing some workshopping, drawing, chilling, hanging and banging, chilling and chilling. I think the only thing left to do, guys, right, is the boring part. You guys mind if we chill and chat? You guys can ask whatever you like. I'm gonna start doing the lettering. I got some show and tell to show. I'm gonna have to put this like this. What else? What am I working on? I got some stuff that I'm working on and have put aside. This being one of them. my recreation of the Incredible Hulk cover. I think it's 242 by Ernie Chan, and it's already been, it's drawn, it's protected. This is burnt sienna. Wait a minute. I lied. Oh no, I didn't lie. Burnt sienna, basic fluid as my underpainting. You guys see that shine? That's not necessarily from oh god, I just said it. This fluid, it's from the clear gesso that I put above it. That clear gesso has a small I'm gonna give myself a timeout for a second. Words don't fail me now. All right. The clear gesso that I've recently purchased has a smooth texture that I really don't like. I've used it on paper before to some success. My Supergirl cover, my Dick Tracy cover. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll show you. That'll get me in trouble in some states. And that's where I had the most trouble and success on that Dick Tracy cover. But you see how it has that weird matte look to it. So, the one thing that is cool about it is, I don't know if you guys can see it. When I painted this, these are my pencils. I sprayed fixative. I used my gesso the way I would. I did a underpainting over everything except for the Hulk's flesh tone, and just basically did a light gray wash very loosely to retain the integrity of my graphite markings. But it has a weird metallic sheen. You see that sheen on it? There's no metal, or even though I have acrylic Arteza metallic gouache, that's just regular gray, black, and water, and it has a weird metallic sheen to it. And at first, it just looks weird. But it's because of the way that gesso works. So, I'm still fitty. It works nice for this, but it wasn't intentional. So, anyway, where's the piece? I haven't really worked on canvases. Canvas. I've drawn and did this painting. This is it's not it's still gouache, but I didn't draw it with pencil. I drew my outline. I did the whole thing in ballpoint. You know what? I'll keep it here for you, just for you, Link. I appreciate that. I think that's very sweet of you, and I thank you. You was with me I think the majority of that I painted that. So it's yours if you want it. I did this. When did I do this? I wish I would have dated it. I didn't. It was definitely during the holidays. This is my interpretation of the Virgin Mary. That is Luke chapter 1, verse 30-31. That is the angel giving her message, giving her what's to come into the future. And it was a beautiful piece of scripture, and I wanted to capture a moment of a young woman who is going to have the weight of the world. She's going to physically carry the weight of the world. If you believe, then you know what I'm talking about. And it's ballpoint pen. And what was really cool is that you can still see some of the pen markings, because when I threw fixative over it, the ink from the ballpoint pen bloomed and expanded. And then that's what I use as my so that was the process. But I've never drawn. I don't think I have. If I have, it must have been terrible to the point where I have forgotten the experience of drawing on canvas, which is what made me go with the ink. But yeah, so I wanted to draw on canvas. Carrie, I'm going to answer your question, so don't leave just yet. I wanted to draw on canvas, but I didn't want to do anything mamby-pamby. I've been putting too much work on my pencils to dumb down my pencils. This is something that I spoke about earlier, and it's something that I mention a lot. For artists like us that kind of want to have a larger process of drawing, inking if necessary, or painting soon after. I'm not a pure painter. I need a visual guide to put my paints on top of, if that makes sense. So I'm a better penciler than an inker, and I might be a better inker than a painter. I might be a better painter than an inker. But either way, I didn't want to I don't want to say degrade. I didn't want to not draw the way I draw because I don't know how to do the next step. I think working with that fear or working with those limitations on yourself kind of blocks your way creatively in growth. For me, anyway, if I was to share with you guys my first gouache paintings, you'll understand what I mean. I kind of simplified the drawing so much so for two reasons. One is because I didn't know how gouache was going to react, and two, I didn't want to mess it up and be disappointed. That's one of the worst things and worst feelings that I've carried for a long time, that I'm going to mess it up. So when I started getting comfortable, I'm like, I want to draw better so I can ink something better. I want to ink something better so I can paint it better. That's kind of like the energy that I'm trying to push for myself. So all that being said is because I wanted to show you the canvas that I drew yesterday for Galactus. So I didn't want to, well, I still kind of held myself back because I didn't draw this on a giant canvas, which I have behind me. I went and actually bought these just to do it. I have 16 by 20 and a giant 18 by 24 canvas that I'm like, I don't want to draw something so big if the pencils aren't going to work, if the graphite pencils aren't going to work. And that's what I used here. I used all of my woodless pencils and all my art pencils that I had. There's no charcoal here. It's just a ton of drawing and rubbing, erasing, drawing, rubbing, erasing. And you can tell because I can't get any darker. So I had to push with the eraser. Anyway. Now I'm like, I don't know if I want to paint it, but that's the point. The goal is to draw my freaking brains out, ink my freaking brains out, and then paint my brains out. You have to, I feel, for me, I have to push myself and do things that I'll be afraid to mess up. That's either going to push my concentration, push my thought process, push my abilities to the brink. It's going to frustrate me, I'm sure. But I always keep thinking about, what if you're successful? And then all of those things that you worried about were for nothing. For nothing. Ugh. I gotta share something with you guys because I think it just All right, so I have this app. It's the Bible app, and I just want to share something with you guys from here. It's a verse of the day, because I think it's important for just simply from what I just mentioned about the creative process, and our spiritual well-being or physical well-being. And it's from Romans 8:18. This is what it says here for the verse of the day. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. And that, to me, in an artistic sense, is that all of those worries and all of those things that we are, as creators, worried about, is this going to work? Is that going to work? Is it going to look good? Is it going to do all this stuff, that we overwhelm ourselves with that negativity and lose sight of how beautiful the creative process is and the end result. If this was to fail, I would have come out of here knowing a bit more about myself, more about the canvas, more about my tools, and learning. And learning is never a negative. Bam! For a Wednesday, y'all. Shoot, your boy got my energy peaked. Now I could go take a nap. I could go take a nap. Your eye goes to the sparkle in her eye. Mine does too. Carrie Lewis is referring to her Mary here. And just think about what I just mentioned about worrying about today, or dealing with the pressures of today and forgetting about the glorious things that will happen within us tomorrow, or soon, or as it comes. I wanted a blessing upon her. I wanted the universe in her eyes, the future in her eyes, and the weight. She's not smiling. She's not crying. She is determined. So, yeah. This is one of those that came out rough in some spots, and I have it hanging up next to me on my right. And I've had a ton of offers, and a few people like, put it out there. This one's mine. I might maybe I'll take a nice digital picture of it, sell it as prints. But yeah, yep. And none of that gets lost in none of it. What I just said, or about our growth, and none of it gets lost in the fact that I'm still just drawing the friggin' Joker. Can we just let's acknowledge that for a second? So, I'm gonna go back real quick on the chat here, and I appreciate you guys just letting your boy here rant. Are you gonna paint? I think so. I'm gonna print it out. What I've been doing with these, I have a ton of stuff to do. I got a ton of stuff to ink, a ton of stuff to paint. The reason I put the underpainting on this Hulk was so that I won't chicken out and not paint it, because I liked the way it looked in grayscale. So the whole point of this was to paint it, and I was kind of like dancing around with the thought. So yes, I will be painting this. I got a few other things that I have printed out that I want to ink and paint. This I'll probably get done, tighten the lines, scan it in. I'll print it out, and the printout I can spray with fixative to hold the ink. On the paper, the copier ink, because this is what is this? Inkjet. That'll hold it, and then I'll use fixative. Oh my lord, I can't speak. I'll use the clear gesso. I use the clear gesso, and that allows me to paint heavily over this thing. All right. Let me see. Nice. Damn, that's one in there. Let me do the show and tell. Appreciate that. Hulk is your favorite. Yes, we already discussed that. Ballpoint pen on the Virgin Mary. Yay, mine, very beautiful. That's a cool, happy accent. Yes, with the Hulk. Didn't expect that. Looks cool. I'll keep it. Good mindset. Yes, I hope that's a mindset that I can encourage people to have. Everything is so. I don't want to say everything is dark, but we're not dumb. We see what's going on around us. Not a lot of happy people. So we have to find a way to keep that happiness and joy inside of it, because it's contagious. Where are we at? Talking, it looked so fluid, but I think it was whatever he used to fix it on the canvas. You might have to, if you guys want to know what I use, you guys let me know and reiterate it on the chat. What did I use to paint her? That was just gouache, black and white gouache. So even then, even though I was trying to push, I minimized, and that's something that I encourage you guys to do. If you're not sure, use a smaller palette. I used black and white and worked on my gray tones because, as you can see, I prefer to work on this any day of the week. Colors really do put me on edge. Shapeshifter 1594. I don't recognize it, but thank you and welcome to the channel. This is your first time. My name is Mello. So to the round table, we do this, we do that. This one, when he's crying, I'm gonna tell Ma. Tell her. That's mean, man. Don't be mean to your little brother. Don't be mean to your little one. They look up to you. You may not know it, but they look up to you. One of the things that I made sure to tell my kids, I have 3 amazing kids, to be nice to each other. That besides their mom and I, they have each other. They should have each other. They should be their day ones. That they shouldn't have to look for, have to search for support beyond them. That if I'm not there, Mom Dukes ain't there, the brother and the sisters are there. Brothers and sisters, pump up the volume. Y'all know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, so we're gonna get to the boring part. We're gonna do some of the laughter. We're now in. I'm side-eyeing your comment. I'm not gonna read it, but that's all right. You do you. Pour one for your homie. Link. Seeing your digital art. I wanted to show you this the last time you was here, and I couldn't find it. This is when I was doing digital art. This was gonna be my jam. You didn't know they had such a thing? Yes. Go to Michael's. Yes, clear gesso, regular gesso. Let me see. They have regular gesso, of course. It's just white. You don't have to see it. It's just white. And then clear gesso is just that. It looks white. Clear is clear. Yes. So put this over here. Yeah. Goes on white and then it dries transparent. But I purchased this with the price in mind without looking at the fine print, and it's a smooth texture, and I would prefer to have it with texture, like acrylic gesso. So this one adds tooth, this one doesn't. I might be able to mix them, who knows if that'll work, but I would prefer this, especially if I'm going to paint on top of Bristol. The tooth this provides is fantastic. It allows for the paint to adhere and to stick. So The smooth version of it is too smooth, and it leaves a weird shine to the paper. It leaves a weird shine like you saw on the artboard. I used to be good at sketching in my teens. I can't do it anymore. Says Shapeshifter, and Linkus says it's like riding a bike. Yes, just sideways. No, you got this, man. It's just muscle memory. It'll come to. All of these sheets, this is mixed media paper that I use gesso. This one, when I inked this drawing, I didn't realize it was non-waterproof ink, and the gesso made it smear and smudge, but it worked out. All of these drawings is on mixed media paper that's been primed with gesso. Where is... these pencil drawings are not... I should spray this. Did I spray this? Nope, I didn't spray it. This is the Dick Tracy. So the original pencils are on the left, and then I just scanned it and printed it out, and I used that fixative in gesso and painted over it in gouache. And I've been doing this a lot lately, so. Lovely snowy owl. Thank you and welcome. If this is your first time, hello there. My name is Mello. Thank you for jumping onto the channel, checking out my work. I'm doing a bit of show and tell before I get back. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I'm doing some more show and tell, and then I'm gonna start working on some lettering. Lettering on this Joker piece. It's going to say laughter underneath. And when I'm done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take either a Posca pen or a very sloppy, maybe even a brush, something with sloppy bristles, and put an S to change laughter to slaughter. All right, let me show you some of this digital stuff. You absolutely can. Link. You absolutely can, because this piece here, this is it said this is mixed media paper. It is not. It is super thin. I bought it because it was hard bound. Pencil, ink, and then gesso right on top of it, and then painted with gouache. Same thing with this one. So it is extremely possible, very, very possible. This was supposed to be my portrait only, heads only. It didn't last very long. It's my Doc Savage. I love that chin. It's a caricature of the actual model for the Doc Savage pulp. I forget his name. I wish I would have given him some type of respect and put his name in here. You will get bleed, depending on how thin your sketchbook is. But I think you should be okay. You can. I've diluted the gesso. I've added color using acrylic. I've used This is a mix of acrylic, gray, and gesso. I don't know why I did that. I could have just thrown acrylic gray. But yeah. All right, let's go through this real quick and then so we can get to work. This was a little soon after I got out of college in the arts, and I thought digital was gonna be the thing. I fell in love with Photoshop and Illustrator, more Photoshop than Illustrator. I didn't like to build up the way you could with Illustrator. I didn't give it a chance. The stuff that people can do. Walmart thin? Oh yeah, Walmart. That thing is Ollie's thin. Shout out to Ollie's. 2011. And these things make me feel so old. What were these called? My son and I, my oldest, companions. I don't know why we call them companions, but it was a big dude and an animal together. And he drew this on my digital pad, and then I colored it in. he copyright. Oh, I copyright. My signatures. That's funny. Take it easy, Link. I appreciate you. We'll definitely catch up on the next one. This one I used Don Draper as my model. You guys know who Don Draper is? John Hamm. I tried to sell this as a print on Redbubble years ago, and it got flagged. I don't know how they figured it was him, but they did. Man, I must have done. This must have taken me hours to do. I'm not the only one that's used this samurai. I'm not the only one that have used this reference of the samurai, and I've seen some very similar, some without my signature here in the bottom, but I'll always know which one is mine because I have an error in mine. I forgot to color in those two pieces, those notches. By the time I was hours into this painting, I must have been colorblind. Shapeshifter says, I think mentally disturbed people are the best artists. Are you trying to say that I am mentally disturbed, sir? Oh, you're saying that I'm not one of the best artists. Either way, I might be offended by one or the other of that comment. And I don't necessarily agree with you. This used to be my logo. I'm trying to be cool. Very Illuminati-esque. That's not something that I really wanted to be representing. This was called Cry Paper. Or Cry Canvas. I was trying to be all cool and hip and say, that's the last thing the canvas sees. Sure, Mel. Sure. I think only several people in this watching will recognize who these people are. Not her. I'm sure everybody recognizes her. That's Betty White. No, I'm kidding. Some Roberto Clemente. A cool story about this. Somebody's actually Somebody actually, uh, do I want to say stole? They stole it. They stole this image. I had it uploaded on DeviantArt. They downloaded it, and you can actually buy this poster. I won't get any of the money, so I don't recommend it. From a print shop in China. I almost bought it. I almost bought it because I don't have any of the original. I don't have any of the original files, or that I use for this book. This book is it's a coffee table book that was created using my publisher, which doesn't exist anymore. Who bought it? Snapfish? No, Shutterfly. Shutterfly bought them back in 2017, and then they disappeared. But all my photos. No, I think they told us that it was gonna get yoked up. This one was difficult because trying to create Mello using old references from the original movie and try to make it look not like C-3PO, sexy C-3PO. What is the weirdest piece of art so far? I don't know if I draw weird art, but I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't go for the weird. Not like that. You know what? Maybe I know. This might be Shapeshifter. This might be the weirdest thing. This was a skull study. It would originally started out doing skull practices, using this little figurine, and then adding the eyes and the shoulders to try to give it that look, feeling cute, might tweet later type of vibe, might post later. It's more macabre than anything, but I think it's kind of like what the social media is now. the search for beauty. You only drew weird stuff and you draw images you saw in your head. Most people were terrified of it. Most people are. Yeah, I don't really necessarily have weird stuff like that. I mean, I draw comics. What's weirder than the Joker, or someone that has a cowl, or a planet-eating Galactus? You know, nothing. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's other dark stuff, but I don't need to share that with people. People don't deserve that. Yeah, some things that shouldn't be shared. All right. So, this is going to be the slow going part, only because I have to look up a lot onto my screen to make sure my measurements are right for the words here. I did most of my measurements already. This needs to be sharper. Yeah, I'm not an edgelord like that, Shapeshift. I don't really I don't go that right. Mentally, I don't know. I'm sure we all have a little something that we need, that we show. So Yeah, sometimes that's the only way that they would be able to get those images out, right? To manifest them and put them on paper. I just feel we just have to recognize people's cry for help and try not to ignore them. All right. 1, 2, and 3. That's 3. Okay. I had to find my line. I don't know if the Joker has any specific text or font. I'm sure he does. I'm sure somebody will figure something out, but I forget. I think this is just, I forget the name of this font. It's not Impact. He was British. It was a cry for help. It is a cry for help. Yeah. I used to do... Yeah. That's true. What you guys are saying about putting it on the page, and it's cathartic. It really is. It does help you cope. I used to, and there's nothing wrong with it, of course. But ooh, that looks terrible. It's lower. But lately, and more, and it works for me. I put my struggles on my faith. I let the Lord help me out. I know a lot of people don't have that, but it is an option, and one that is foolproof. It is for me. So. This lettering is going to be, I don't think it's going to be the strongest part of this drawing, and I think that's all right. I need to get my friend Charlie to do a font for me. No, absolutely. Drawing it depends on how you cope. I used to draw a lot of, when I couldn't get through certain anger, I used to draw that a lot. Maybe that's why I draw faces. It needs to be bigger. I'm just really happy I never became a typographer. I appreciate the art, but man, oops, my bad. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. A drawing while talking. You mentioned earlier about talking to your dad about some basketball trades. What trade is he excited about? There's been a ton. None for the Bean. None for the Celtics, man. That needs to be skinnier. I really didn't do nothing. So weird because none of it lines up. And for me, who has a bit of OCD, seeing some of this stuff not line up, it's gonna drive me nuts. Minnesota. They traded Julius Randle and yet allowed. Okay. Where did he end up going? Did he really let him go? Where he was in? Was he with Philly? No, was he with the Knicks? Before Timberwolves, he was a good fit for, and an energy guy and a half. I hated that guy. Hate's a strong word, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna treat this like a cover, and I'm only gonna paint inside those lines. But that's cool. I haven't followed too much, just from what comes up on threads, which 9 out of 10 times is either baloney. Brooklyn. That's where he was? Huh. Okay. Were you able to go to that game on when was that, Monday? My pops is going through some health struggles right now. And he lives about maybe now 2 hours away from me. He's a bit on the sensitive side, so I might have to check him out soon. He was on the Knicks, yes, and you got him from there and got DiVincenzo. That's right, Dante. He tore his Achilles during the playoffs. So yes, okay. Ant's the man, dude. My wife is a huge fan of Anthony Edwards, so she be rooting for y'all. I don't know where it came from, but don't argue with the boss. Oh yeah, 1:30. I think we can finish these letterings and then call it. I am having a ton of fun doing these style drawings. I was gonna try to do. I know I was talking earlier about canvas. The whole point was because I was going to draw and paint a 18 by 24 inch canvas of Galactus in this style, and it was gonna be his giant mug in the center with the word "Devour" almost popping out of the page. With the way that the pencils react to canvas, I think I'll come out of there. It might look good, but I believe I'll come out of there more frustrated than happy. But who knows? Maybe you know what? I'll let you guys decide. I don't mind doing that, and I know you guys are glutton for punishments to see me put in that work, so I already have an idea what you guys are gonna vote for, and I appreciate you. I love y'all for it. Put them to work. I wish I could have done this text a lot this fast. Also, he lives relatively nearby, about 2 hours away. He's going through dialysis for his kidneys, and yeah, and thank you for that. Appreciate that. I definitely will. I definitely will tell her that she got a homie in Minnesota that's cheering when she's cheering. Carrie, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My Pop Dukes has lived a very interesting life. Very interesting life, and he'll tell me stories where I'm like, yeah, that's not true. It can't be true. Isn't it true? But he lived a reckless life also, and I think some of that stuff, some of those decisions caught up to him with his age, and we'll see. I'm sure he'll be fine. I just want him to be at ease and at peace. But yeah, I appreciate that, and I'll let him know. I'll let him know my peoples are sending prayers in his direction. Excuse me, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of ASMR. Pew pew. This thing is wobbling. Okay, so let's see. Okay, that's why. These things are so weird. I have to add that piece of tissue to this adapter. This adapter is what holds this little mini eraser cartridge, this little eraser bullet for the electric eraser. But it doesn't hold it, and as you use it, it'll begin to dig inside, right? Like that. And then it either slides too far in and you will never be able to find it. You'll never be able to get it back. But you need to trim it because it'll for as stiff as that is, you can still see how it has some give. And you don't want that bouncing all over your page. It's that glint, man, that crazy eye glint. But it's harder to control. But I might be able to coerce some sharp lines here. This is the only way I'll get any other lighter tone on this paper. And it might be a moot point. So I'll just have to live with those results. What are the benefits with an electric eraser? I think is with this one in particular, you get a sharper line. I mean, you could use, where am I? Any number 2s? But with those, you'll tend to start digging into your paper. This one, it doesn't leave much in terms of grooves. So you kind of get a bit more control. Once you really get that edge you're looking for, mainly it's going to be for speed. It's built for speed, not comfort. It's built for, yeah. It gives it an extra tactile feel to the work. And it pulls a lot more. You get a bit more precise with your erasing. I have 2 of these. This is one of my favorites because it's rechargeable. So yeah, right here, I just want to, and you can really emphasize highlights. Let me see if I can get a tighter screenshot for you. Bam. So you just have to, when doing any type of erasing, a little goes a long way, because you want to build on the values. You want dark, a medium dark, and a highlight. And if you can get another medium dark light and then a highlight, then you start adding a ton of depth. You can really put some work on wrinkles, or if you're doing water and sweat. And when I get in here on the saliva, I have to go back because Carrie asked this earlier. She says, your art is incredible. Do you have any tips to a newbie wanting to develop in art? So the first thing we'll ask is what type of art. If you're going to do comic book art the way I've been doing lately, or figurative art or figure art or stuff like that, I don't know if I would. Let me tone it down, because I've made the mistake of grabbing a ton of reference materials and books from a bunch of different places, which is okay until you start realizing that they're all saying the same thing. So the first thing you might want to do is do a little bit of research, and maybe even just find an artist that you like, that you want to kind of follow. You guys follow Todd McFarlane. In my age and era, it was Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, Eric Larson, those guys. So I did a lot of collecting of their books. As I got older, and I started reading all about them, Where did they learn? What did they look at? What were they trying to figure out? Right? I think McFarlane mentions Hogarth by name. I don't remember if it's Hogarth. Hogarth has a series of books called Dynamic Figures, Dynamic Hands, Dynamic Figures, Drapery, and stuff like that. And you can see those influences in his work. So you start digging into the people that they studied from is what I would look for. If you don't want to do that, the boring stuff, a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of YouTube watching. You do a lot of comic art as free promos for campaigns, but I also like drawing people. I love drawing people. I'm a people watcher. I love expressions, not just evil looking expressions or angry expressions, but I love facial expressions. I draw myself a lot. I try to draw my kids a lot. Pinterest has a lot of figure drawings, real or otherwise, but if you're just trying to figure out the figure, that's a great way to do it. I think that early on, drawing quickly helps. Drawing quickly and try to just get an overall shape. Don't worry too much on likeness. Likeness will kill you. Likeness will kill your inspiration, your creativity, and your desire to finish a piece, if that's what you're rooting for. But when you're learning, I think getting the basics, getting something right. Earlier today, usually I try to talk about energy and the vibe of something. Even on my narrative videos, even when I'm breaking down some of my processes, I don't talk too much about technique. I don't talk too much about measurements, this, that, and the other, and where it goes, what this does and that. What I try to instill is why I'm doing it, what it makes me feel, what I'm looking for. And is it either going to be a light, a shadow, a square, a tone, more than the reference being 100% of what I'm trying to get at. This image earlier, and I'll show you the reference real quick here. Boop, boop, boop. Hopefully I still have it. Bam. That's the reference I used, and I'll show it on this guy also. Bam. Now you can tell they're not identical. The pose is similar, but that's the reference that I used. Now I didn't want to copy it one for one. That wasn't the purpose of this practice. The purpose for it was the emotion. I wanted to convey that emotion for a story, for an idea, for a vibe of it. So the vibe to me is more important than technique or any of those things, because technique can be learned. Technique can be learned from many different things and many different people. Technique is about holding a pencil, how to grab a shade, how to use the side. All of those things are the mechanicalness. Those things can be learned instinctively by practicing. Or you see somebody do it, but I want to try it out. Oh, that's a cool line. I would rather tell you what it feels like for me and why I want to do that specific line. I think that's more important, because your eyes can see the technique. So feel is important. Worry about the feel. Worry about what you're trying to, that type of stuff. When it comes to technique, the boring stuff of art, the minutiae of art, I think that the best thing to do is look at a lot of the artwork from people you enjoy. I have a ton of artwork, a ton of comic books, ranging from the mid-90s to 2000 at first. And now I'm collecting a ton of stuff from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, because those guys and gals we're using more traditional pieces like inking with brushes more than inking with nibs, or no pencils going straight that way, the way they use their colors. There's so many different things. But yeah, to develop your art, you just gotta figure out where it is that you want to go. I'm not trying to say stick to a niche. I think also sticking to niche maybe at first would help move your artwork forward. But I love portrait art and old school figure art and fine art, and I would love to find a way to bridge that and comic art within what I do, and then mix a bit of comic art design and aesthetic to my paintings. So I don't know if that answers your question. I'm sorry if it didn't. Draw everything and anything. I say that as a person who hasn't drawn vehicles often and wish I did. Draw rooms, draw everything. Draw your shoes, draw your clothes. You'll never know all the type of folds that you're gonna need to draw in the future. Sorry, I gotta get some drooling survivor here. Talking while drawing, suggested. That might be too much, but I'm gonna put it on the side. I think it's grosser if he just has the saliva on the side. Get this guy a glass of water. But yeah, could you'll be surprised how many artists that we follow and enjoy have used fine art as reference for their figure study. Or just even their inspirations. Yes, he's dehydrated. Batman got a canteen in his belt, and the Joker can't get a sip. Alright, let's see if we can emphasize some of these wrangles. Another thing I would say is to dive in headfirst into all the things that they enjoy to do. I have gone nuts recently buying and collecting old Conan books for the artwork, for the beautiful line work, because I'm going to be using a lot of that as a reference. But I'm also collecting a lot of war comics from the 60s and 70s. For texture and grittiness. Giving the Joker a little forehead tattoo. Carrie, I think I've seen some of your work on for Omer. Please correct me. I think you did a Viking lady. I'm trying to recall here. Yeah, a lot more than comic art in your style. So you're right. I see your figure drawing and your people drawing. Yes, yes, okay. Sorry for the noise. If it's annoying and uncomfortable. It's the price we pay, right? Yeah, I want to get a highlight here. I know for a fact I might not be able to get it. And I also wanted, there's some things that I've been adding to my faces, even sometimes people can't see them, is kind of like that tear line. It's just something really realistic and dare I say, romantic about it. Yeah, you can't see it. All right, so let me see if I can... It can't be seen, but it's all right. So let me see if I can get that tear look without messing up the eye. Laughing so much he's crying. Ooh, that could be another reason why he's dehydrated. All right, so let's do that. Let's add that right there. And what I'll do is I can go ahead and draw over it. Add a line here and some shadow. What's your comic? Do you sell art prints? I do sell art prints. I don't have a comic. I will eventually. I know that for a fact. I'm in the middle of writing one. Not rushing to get it done, but because I really want to get the story done right. But no, I do have prints. I sell on my Etsy store. I sell prints on my Etsy store, and if you want original artwork, you can find it in my Ko-fi shop. All in my bio. I'll throw up a. I'll do it right now. I don't do a very good job of selling myself. I'll tell you that right here. Bap. That's my follow me page. Let me get rid of this lady's face. It's too big. If you check out my horizontal feed, but no, no comic yet, and that's okay. And now this side. But I am heading to the IndieCon. Maybe I can entice some indie comic creators and some indie publishers to hire me to do some covers. You guys can't really see the tears in his eyes, can you? It's too bright in my room. There you go, a little close up. Not too shabby. Yeah, yeah. Like I've had a failure to launch when it comes to my stuff, but um, it just wasn't meant to be at the time. I feel, and it'll come. I think it's all right. I just think it's really funny that most of the guys, most of the creators, men and female that I've been following with their art is a bunch of dudes in their mid 40s doing this stuff, and it makes me happy to be a part of that, making up for lost time and trying to make up for it. I think it's funny. It's cute. Drawing says, always amazed by how the smallest things add so much with a drawing or paint. It's usually that little bit of, sometimes it's not even noticeable. A highlight, a glint, yeah, man. And sometimes it's the highlight that we want people to notice that doesn't. We get a little bummed out about it. All right, let's see if I can get this. There's not enough value in his lower teeth, which is what's going to make it difficult to try to get these highlights here, but that's okay. I gotta get ready to cut off here. I gotta start cooking dinner. Add some spinach. Oh yeah. Wait, what? Add a little. You gotta add seasoning, not spinach. Give him that little extra on that lip. I do appreciate the kid that jumped on earlier that was like, dang, how long does that take? And when I told him, he was like, okay, I'm going to bed. It's late over here. Appreciate big ups to him. What's today? Today is Wednesday. I probably won't be able to join. I will definitely jump in there and say what's up. Give Omer my support. You know, you mentioned him and I was thinking about him. Like, oh man, is he streaming right now? But definitely give him my send him my how do you do. If you jump in there, I'll definitely try to jump on. Send OG some positive vibes, man, after some of that unnecessary drama that's happening. But I think he'll be all right. Sorry for the. This really is something else. What up, Saboteur? How you doing? just finish up my my happy face. And you caught me right when I was dipping, bruh. I gotta go start cooking. Father's Day is over. I gotta put the apron on. I'm just here, man, trying to lift the art form, man. Build it up. One sketch at a time. I got to talk to you about your Michael Jackson, bro. Maybe you can help me find the right reference to use. Do you guys follow Louis Creative? I think that's his name, Louis Alvaro Creative. That dude is nasty, man. And I said I think we've been on a weird. Carrie, Louis is on the Louis. God bless him. Sav just jumped on the horizontal feed. I double up my streams. You're on the vertical for easier scrolling and for the doom scrollers. But if you click on the link that I have pinned, it'll pop you over to the horizontal feed where you can see my table, see my equipment if I'm using other equipment, and my references if I have them up. I wonder what this camera has. Got a couple. Oh, there it is. Boom. Ah, and your boy. Where is it? I can't show it. Don't want to show my guts. Ooh, showing too much leg. Got my Happy Tree t-shirt on. Yeah, I don't see none of that. I don't see no leg. That looks huge. That's what she said, and that's inappropriate. You gotta switch it up just in case y'all falling asleep. But with that said, I am going to let the music play me off. I really appreciate you guys. I will not be on tomorrow. I don't do Thursdays. I will be on Friday. So I will catch you guys at the end of the week so we can end it on a high note together and hang and bang and chill. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. Oh, I'm showing way too much leg. Shoot. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. I'm going to put it back to that screen right there. So, yes, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out. And like Carrie said, go hop on Omer's channel if you like. If you want to get yelled at. No, I'm just kidding. Omer got the energy of 10 mils, man. So, I won't work on this. I might tighten up some lines, but this is pretty much it. I got to figure out what to do here so he won't get lost. Put some texture on that. Put the texture on his collar there and on his neck. Tighten up the laughter here, but I think we got our boy. So with that said, guys, thank you guys so much. My name is Mello. This is Art to the Round Table. God bless you. I love you. I mean it. And I'll see you guys on Friday. Until next time, I will draw you later. Bye.